Alright, you're going to be sick for 1 day. So then the next morning you'll have to make another fort set. Actually, since it's only 1 day, you will only get affected by it today. You won't actually have to make any more saves. But let's roll what it does. You're going to take 2 points of dex damage. And 3 points of con damage. So what you're going to do on your character sheet in your just the miscellaneous character category on your main page, you're going to put a -3 on your dex and a -2 on your dex and a -3 on your con. And since that's going to damage your con, that takes away your con modifier that goes on your HP. So your max HP is going to be reduced by 2, 3, 6. So you're going to be reduced. Don't change it there. Put 6 points of non-lethal on, basically, because it's going to reduce your max by 6 HP until your con damage is healed. Actually, put that as actual 6 damage, so it just reduces it, because that you're going to be pretty low on HP. Oh, let's see. I think you might have broke your character sheet there, Dane. Alright, so
C.
I guess you're at 10 minus 6, so you're at 4 HP currently. Alright, Ash. Nope, it's Zarkling, your turn. You can make a full action because you are not nauseated. You just did contract the rat or filth fever. And you're attacking them. Okay, that's going to miss.
Yep.
Your second attack will hit. Roll its damage. Alright, so as you these rats swarm over you, you try to swing at them with your rapier unsuccessfully, but you pin another rat down to the deck with your dagger with another stab through the spine.
I guess I'm gonna shoot them.
Okay.
+1.
You hit.
+1.
Alright. So you shoot an arrow into the middle of the swarm, and you take out one that's slightly larger in the center, and all the rats turn and look, and they all scatter.
I killed the brain. Pinky's fled.
Okay.
Can I recover any arrows?
I'm gonna let you recover 2 arrows out of it.
Alright.
And Prentice is going to heal Zarkleen again.
Okay. Alright, you get healed for 11. Your HP is still going to be temporarily down by those 6, so just keep that note there that you're going to be 6 less HP than. Or I guess you won't be able
Okay.
to go. You won't be able to go up.
Yeah, no higher than
within
12.
6 of your max. Yep, higher than 12.
Can we roll a heal check to cure him any sort of way?
No. If you had the spell Lesser Restoration, you could cure stat damage. Otherwise, it'll go away upon resting for the evening. 8 hours of rest.
Alright, well, should I check out this guardhouse we killed a bunch of rats for? I look inside, I don't go in.
Make me a perception check. Ash, you can spot a small little amount of metal gleaming in the bedding of this rat nest.
Alright, well, it's just rats. I'm gonna go look at this metal.
You walk in, and as you inspect it more, it's a small stack of coins that these rats had taken up along with the other various scraps of stuff, different, remains of prisoner uniforms, that sort of deal, and it comes out to about 25 gold. Yeah, 25 gold is there mixed in amongst the rags of basically spare.
Alright, I pass out 5 gold to everyone.
Woo! Communism.
And out of character, Valorant is now thinking, holy shit, this is so much easier than drinking potion.
Yay! 27.
Alright, I want to check around the back of the prison, then go up the stairs to the balcony.
Okay.
That was the only thing in there.
Yup,
That
that's the only thing I saw.
Okay.
Y'all coming?
Can we get to that guardhouse further down the wall?
Yeah, you could walk down the wall and go to it.
You want to do that instead? We could do that.
I think we should get the guardhouse, then behind the prison, then the balcony, because the balcony might lead into the prison.
Alright. Zarkly, you stay near the back.
Azar, you're feeling kind of fatigued. Let's just say that as a good description of how your character is feeling after contracting the filth.
Okay, so perception
Not
to
the
see if
actual
there's a.
fatigue condition,
I got the
mind
poo
you,
on me.
but you got the poo on you.
Perception to see
You
if
got
there's any
poo
more
on him.
rats.
Alright, roll your check. There are no rats in this tower.
What is in the tower?
Yeah.
Well, Valrin, when you looked into the Hellthorpe, you see a mighty tower.
You see stones.
Valrin, you look inside, and this guard tower is pretty empty. And it looks like it's been abandoned a long time ago, and there's really nothing in here. There's a table, if that interests you. It's pretty dilapidated, though.
Mahogany.
What about the gatehouse down the road, down the wall more?
You could keep walking and take a look, though. I'm actually gonna go ahead and tell you, as a GM, there's nothing in them.
Alright.
Just to save some time, y'all went and looked, and you didn't find anything of interest in them.
How tall is this wall?
Time check.
Time check. It is probably now about 4:30 in the afternoon.
Alright, so we should probably finish scouting out the exterior and start heading back.
How tall is the wall?
The wall, like the outside retaining wall, is
This.
probably about 18 feet tall,
Okay.
and the guard towers probably extend up another 10 feet, so 28 foot from the top of the guard tower to the ground. Alright, since you're in bear form, you're gonna smell this.
Stop.
Yep.
Furion, as you turn the corner, a waft of stench just hits your hits your nose. It smells absolutely terrible. As the others start walking up, y'all starting to notice it as well.
God, Valor, why'd you fart? No, seriously, what's the smell like? This filth? Like a bog?
It smells. Yeah, we could say that. It smells almost like what you would think a sewer would smell.
By the way, the turn order is still on my screen. For initiative. Thank you.
No, it's not. I just never closed.
I figured.
Right, and up ahead you can see kind of a pit that looks like it's been dug into the ground.
So it doesn't look natural?
No, it doesn't look natural. Yeah.
Helthorpe, you sense anything?
I sense this is a cesspit. Although I'll try to look deeper. Even though
That's a very astute perception, Hellfort. That's exactly what it is.
Are you gonna look deeper in the cesspit? No evil in the cesspit?
There's
Let
no
me
evil
check.
in the cess.
Alright, so we're gonna walk around the outside here.
Staying far away from the cesspit, I see.
I guess there we can go into the prison from there. Is there a grating near the entrance?
It's like a dug out hole, basically, where they just dump stuff. So someone would have carried it out of the prison in a bucket and dumped.
Oh, it won't be shit, boy. That's an awful job. Do we
Someone's
see
gotta
anything
do
on
it.
the outside?
You do not. So you explore this area pretty well, and it's mostly just open area. This is kind of like a prison yard area, or what remains of it. Yeah. Various, you know, bars that you could lift yourself off on, that sort of deal, but there's nothing of really interest. Valrin, you step nice and close to my cesspit. Make me a reflex. Val. Ah, there it is. Alright, so as you're walking, your foot kind of sinks down and you catch yourself, but for a second there you thought you might have been falling into the shit pit.
Fuck your
But you
shit.
caught yourself before you.
Damn! So I guess like, 4:15, 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, about 4:50.
Takes 30 minutes to get here.
Yep. And the sun is probably going around 7 o'clock right now.
Alright, well, we got a date with the sheriff tonight, and honestly, I better get clean before that happens and get some dinner. I'm reasonably certain this outside is well scouted out. We can tackle the rest tomorrow morning. Besides, someone needs a nap. We're looking pretty sick.
Not going up on the balcony? Alright.
Well, we could look on the balcony real quick. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Valeric,
Should
get back
take a
here.
minute.
Alright, Hellthorpe, as you top the stairs, make me a perception check. As you start turning this corner, you see, this basically there's this setup where there's this block with some manacles on it, and a bucket at the end of the block.
Woo!
Well, this is grim indeed.
Well, it was used. This prison was meant for people who, or days were numbered.
Yep. As you get closer to this block, you also see there's a scythe laying beside it that has basically, it's rusted now, but the scythe has basically been stained by blood.
I'll use detect evil on the scythe.
It is glowing, very faintly, and as you do that, it lifts up off the ground. And some black, like negative energy begins to glow off.
Like off the scythe or around the scythe?
Like off the blade. Similar to that art, some like black negative energy is coming off of the blade of the scythe. And you can roll initiative. I will also get to introduce you to another new mechanic on this one, but I will let it come into play. Alright, Zarkleen, you're up. You see this, as you're walking up the stairs, you see the scythe like lift up off the ground, animate, and it's kind of moving towards Hellfort.
Just kidding.
It's like, nope.
I guess I'm gonna. Am I able to actually get up there to it?
We'll count the squares as 5 foot in this battle as well, just to keep things simple. So yeah, you should be able to get up there to it. You can only be able to attack with one of your attacks, so you'll be able to do that your full +6 on your. Well,
If I actually was
+5
to stop.
because you're. What?
actually would have stopped one square to the left, would I be flanking? Does he even get flanking on this?
You there you would not be flanking in that position. You have to be directly across from someone. So like Hellfork
Okay.
and Ash are flanking it right now. If you were to move to right there, you would be flanking it with Valorant, but I don't think you can reach to there from where you were at. And you would
Yeah,
also
okay.
have to move through its thread in space and make an acrobatics check or take an attack of opportunity to get to that square. But I believe you do have a rogue talent as well.
Yeah, that's only after. If I want to.
Yep. But by moving in, you will have to attack if you're stopping beside it, or you will take an attack of opportunity for moving into its thread in space without attacking. Alright, that is a hit. Alright, so you take your rapier and you stab at this thing, and it just bounces off of this. You're encountering something called hardness. It's a type of damage reduction that basically you have to do X amount of damage above the amount of hardness it has, and only the damage past its hardness amount will be what actually damages.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
Not unless I can take like an action to try to grab it.
And you already did a standard action, so yeah, that's all you're going to be able to do. You moved and stand. Okay, Ash, you're.
I'm gonna take a 5-foot step back up against the wall.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move you. Or you can move it.
And I am going to shoot a blunt arrow at this freaky dicky scythe.
Okay.
Do I get flanking bonus with the longbow?
You cannot flank with ranged weapons.
Oh, that's bullshit. +1 to that.
That will.
Another +1 to that.
Alright, so you hit this thing and your arrow hits it and it takes a small chink out of it and then bounces off and flies off the balcony. Valorant.
Okay. Is there anything I can roll to know if the vial will work on it?
Maybe a knowledge religion. I mean, it is a floating scythe.
Nope.
No, you have no idea why a scythe would start floating and swinging outside of a haunted prison.
Well, I'm gonna be semi-smart and be like, huh, let's see what this does. And I'm going to use the haunt siphon vial. However that works. Other than just pulling the cork and it should be, like, eaten. Pretty much.
So let me tell you what. Give you the exact description of how this thing works. Does it work? Okay. So you open up this haunt siphon and this white vapor comes out of it, and it encircles this floating scythe. And it kind of basically wraps around and starts constricting. And you can tell it's chipping away at the scythe, and small pieces of the wood and the metal are falling off of it, and then all of the vapor goes back into the haunt siphon and is now glowing green instead of white. But the scythe is still there.
Does green mean it was filled?
Yep, green. Basically, what it does is whenever you open it up, it does a 3d6 damage to any thing that is haunted, essentially, and then is consumed and stores the amount of damage it did in it that you could then use as a negative energy grenade, basically.
Dude.
So you could throw that and break and do 11 damage with it as on a single target. That negative
Living
energy
target.
would do damage to. Yep, living target.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, in my sheet, I'm just gonna put off to the side.
Yep, just put off to the side 11 negative energy damage. And that's actually a little bit stronger than what those usually are, but I think it's better. It's more flavorful that way, that it takes out what it puts in.
Yeah.
I agree.
Woo! So it's dead.
No, it is still there.
Nope.
Oh, damn.
The 3d6 wasn't enough to
To kill it.
It's pissed at you, though, because you did more damage than anyone has done to it. It's going to swing at you, Val.
Great! After. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say after I go.
That is a hit. Let me make sure that that is okay.
You almost died, bro.
A 20 is a hit for you, correct? Against your AC.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it is,
My
but
AC,
I just want to make sure
yeah,
because I know it's
I have a
possible.
19 AC.
Alright, so it is a... It's gonna swing down and hit you for 7 points of damage. And it's a very painful strike as it hit.
Yay.
Alright, Princess. There's a floating scythe that just took a big chunk out of
I'm casting Sanctuary.
Alright. You
He's
cast Sanctuary on yourself.
he's going to his happy place. Damn it.
In the back, Princess is going, la la la, I can't see or hear this.
What does Sanctuary do?
Alright. Basically, the thing has to make a will save if it wants to attack him to actually attack him.
Okay.
But he can't attack while he's in Sanctuary.
Okay.
Alright, Hellfort.
Can I move here as a 5-foot step and use Smite Evil as a swift action?
Yeah, you can. I'm counting these as 5-foot squares for this fight. So yeah, that would be a 5-foot step. And yeah, a swift action for Smite Evil.
Alright, I use Smite Evil on the scythe, and then I attack.
Alright, you know how to calculate your bonuses for all of that for Smite.
Yep, it adds my charisma to my attack, and it bypasses damage reduction.
Alright, yep. I will say this is hardness and not DR, but your bonus to damages are going to, you know, really help.
Oh, okay.
Hardness and DR are slightly different things. Also, you also get, since this is a undead, you're going to, by technicality, I guess it's an undead, so I'm going to allow it. You're going to get a extra 2 points of damage per level that you possess if you hit for your first attack. So
Alright.
at level 3 you'll get an extra 6 damage on your first attack. A 17 is going to hit it. So roll your damage.
So I get an extra 6 points for
Yep.
Smite Evil?
Yep, so take your normal damage and add a +6 to that. Alright. Is that with the +6 already into?
Yep, that's sword plus strength plus Smite Evil.
Alright, so you swing your sword onto this, and it cracks a little bit from your attack, and parts of the wood shatter off, but it's still moving around. I'm gonna treat the hardness a little different since it is evil and it is, you know, being smite. I'm gonna treat hardness as a little special in this case. So, but just this case alone, you're not doing full damage, but you're doing, you know, some. Basically,
Okay.
hardness is kind of like material objects, those sort of deals, and DR is like werewolves, you know, take less damage unless they're getting hit by silver. That's a type of DR type deal.
Ah, got it.
Alright. Zarkling.
Take another swipe, I guess.
Alright. I'm gonna do 1 attack or 2 attacks, because you can do both this time.
I'll do both.
And you
I-
are flanking, so
Yeah, exactly. I positioned here so you could get a flanking attack.
that means you are going to be at +2 bonus on your attack rolls. And you will also get sneak attack as you're flanking. Except, let's see, does this allow sneak attack on this thing? Oddly enough, yes it does. Alright, so you will get sneak attack damage on this as well. So 16 with the +2 bonus, which you have, that is going to miss. Alright, you can roll your second attack. Alright, and that will miss as well. Your first attack, basically, it parried off. You tied its AC. Ash.
One moment. Yeah, I'm gonna go on a hunch here, and I'm gonna put out an undead baiting arrow,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot it with a +1 undead baiting arrow.
Alright.
Make sure I got my bonuses right. I'm actually gonna include the point blank plus to hit on this roll. I won't
Okay.
include the undead bane. You can say where it hits or not, because I'm going on a hunch.
Okay. That will hit.
+1 if it's undead. All right.
And roll your damage and roll the undead bane as separate damage. So you'll roll the damage of a +1 arrow and then the 2d6 for undead bane or undead bane.
Ignore that roll. I was stupid.
Yeah,
That
I was
roll.
like,
Ignore that.
okay. I was like, what the fuck is that?
That's normal damage.
Alright, now roll the undead bane damage. Alright, the arrow hits it and it is enveloped for light in a brilliant flash, and basically this flash of light explodes and large chunks of the scythe break apart and fall to the ground, and there's a very, very ragged, almost falling apart scythe floating there. And Val.
Alright. Well, I pissed it off last time, and it pissed me off last time, so kick to hit.
That will hit.
Kick damage.
You kick it and it didn't seem to affect it at all.
Damn. Wait, this is hardness. I probably can't even touch it. Wait, with my claws, if I can hit. Nope.
Your first claw misses.
Yay!
Alright, possible critical. Roll to confer.
And I roll the same.
Yep, same die. It is a confirmed critical, so let me roll your damage and I'll roll the general.
Okay.
This is sad. You're gonna crit and probably not even get through the hard.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Alright. So, you hit it doesn't seem to affect it in any sort of way on the actual damage of it. But you got one called knockback, and it's going to get pushed back 2 squares away from you. So you knocked it really hard and knocked it, away from everyone, but didn't actually do any damage to it
Fun.
because it was a double damage, and you didn't penetrate hard. Prentice.
Nope.
You're
La
singing
la
your
la la la
sanctuary.
la. I
Scythe.
can't hear you.
The scythe doesn't get to go?
Oh, that's right. The scythe would get to go.
Yeah.
Well, it will make a. It'll come in with a 5-foot step, basically, and it will attack Hellforp. Hellforp, you're going to get a bonus to your AC based on this being the target of your smite.
Yep. Charisma is +3, I think.
Alright, so you get a +3 to your AC.
So that brings me up to 21.
Oh. And it swings and it misses well over your head. Princess is la-la-lying, and Hellforp, you're.
Alright,
You
I'll
will
take a
not get
5-foot
the
step and
bonus. Alright,
I don't
you
get
won't
the
bonus
×2, right?
damage. Yep, right. You don't get the extra 2 damage per level on it this time. That's only on the first, but you get the bonuses to your attack, etc. Like normal.
Sure. I'll take a 5-foot step and attack.
That is a hit. Roll.
I looked away and looked back and I saw that 27 and I'm like, 27 damage.
Alright, this is a targeted smite, you let my DR thing still go through a little bit, so you swing your blade into this and take off a small chunk of it, but you don't seem to. You're not able to put it all the way away, but it's looking in very rough shape. It has 1 HP left, by the way. I'm letting a little bit of your damage slip through the hardness because you're smiting it. Normally, smite would get by all DR, but since hardness is different, I'm just letting a sliver of it get through, even if you don't beat the 10.
Okay.
This fight would have been way too hard without doing that. I think y'all don't have high burst. Alright, Czar. You are up.
Alright, I'm gonna sidestep.
Okay.
And attack.
Alright, you get your +2 flanking bonus. And you can make 2 attacks with a 5-foot step, so. That's going to hit.
Negative damage
Roll your
gives it
damage
health.
and then roll your sneak attack dice.
Oh.
Okay, and roll your sneak attack dice. Alright. As these are the same stab, I'm going to count that as 1 attack. And 8, no, 10, 11. Hell, it beats the 10. So you stab it and crack the haft in half, and it falls down to the ground, not animated. And you're out of
Yeah.
initiative.
Yay.
Yay. So
Woo!
I suggest seeing us 10:12 in the evening.
you
We
need to head out.
scour the balcony and then pause
Exactly.
for the night.
Is there anything on the
Makes
scythe
sense to
that
me.
that I could scavenge?
There's fragments of a really old rusty scythe. It's not really salvageable though.
Okay.
Can I salvage an undead bane arrow?
That was destroyed on impact.
Figures.
You heard me say it kind of went in a burst of light.
Okay. Anything
It would
else on the
have lost the
balcony?
magic effect anyway. There is
figured.
nothing else on the balcony.
Okay. I know, right?
Well,
I'm
there's.
scared, guys.
But we'll be fine.
You almost died. She almost
I
died.
didn't almost die.
You're bleeding.
No. Well,
He's not blue. He
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
bleed.
Valorant, do you need a heal?
we're gonna be back with the guy, the sheriff tonight, so I shouldn't need one just yet. Maybe later.
Yeah. Well, anywho's,
Okay.
we should go back to town now, freshen up, get some dinner, and go scout out the monument tonight.
Alright, and we can end the session here since you need to go, Andrew, and we'll just pick up from the balcony and y'all going back to town.
I agree. So, EP.
Yeah.
EP. How much EP do you guys get?
4,000.
Yay!
We did kill some shit.
We killed
You did kill shit.
we killed two things that we didn't. We killed actually everything that didn't need to be killed. At this point.
I killed the door.
Everything needs to be killed.
That is true.
Actually, I killed an entire house. Come on, I should
Yeah.
get points for that.
No, you damaged friendlies.
No, the house did that.
No. You took down the house, which damaged the friendlies. Therefore, you damaged friendlies.
No. The house went out screaming Tora, Tora, Tora.
Anywho's. How much EP we get?
I'm calculating it. I'm doing maths, guys. Come on. You are going to get 721 experience apiece. You know what, just make it 725, because I don't want y'all on an odd number.
Make it
25
725.
still
Don't.
odd.
Yeah,
25 still an odd number.
Not in terms of a mathematical odd number, but as in a odd number is not a multiple of 5.
So,
I
not a
inverted
number
that.
divisible by 5.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I gotta call it night, guys. It was a good game. Had fun.
See ya.
Yep.
Game.
See you later. Yeah, man. Take it easy.
See ya.
Later.
You too. Bye.
I was thinking right at the end of that fight, wouldn't it be a big shame if I unleashed this vial of negative energy that because that is haunted, shouldn't it heal it?
It would have healed it.
Exactly. Wouldn't it have
it
been
would
a
have healed
shame?
it for 11 points of damage.
I was thinking about that. I'm like,
You're definitely.
yeah, well.
But yeah. Dane, you have a very interesting point. If these are the sentries just outside, nervous to see what's inside.
Hell fucking yeah.
Prentice was perfectly willing to stay in town.
Prentice also was being a little bitch.
Well, if Prentice, I'm gonna go and say, if Prentice just stayed in town for 30 days, he would have died at the end of 30 days. So it's probably best that he's at the prison.
If that's 30 days, he would have lived, though.
Wait, he would have died by GM powers, or he would have died?
Well, he could have fled. He could have fled. Well, we won't know that though. Maybe, unless y'all just totally fuck up.
Never to return.
Because the way you said that made it sound like in 30 days some shit's going down at the village, at the town.
Yeah, maybe. It wouldn't be a, you know, shit is going down here in this prison. You should know that by now.
Yeah, shit's going down at the prison,
It might spill out.
But you said for certain that if Prentice stayed in town for 30 days, he would have died.
Yeah. Or he could have ran away. Depending, I don't know, he probably would run away at the first sign of trouble, so he would survive.
Yeah.
Alright. That was a... So, did you enjoy combat
Yay.
with kind of my light little mobs I threw at you guys?
Yep.
I dig it.
Yay.
Been looking forward to this. Got to use my Smite Evil again.
Hey, you got the smite. You'll be getting to smite a lot in here. Well, you'll probably smite at least once a day.
That's the plan.
And that was actually a very well timed one, considering y'all are about done adventuring for the day. So, using your smite towards the end of the day, when you know you're probably not going to need it again, is a good course of action.
No. Sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, good game, guys. I'll see you next week.
Alright, see ya.
Have a good one.
Later.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.
Later.